But let's talk about something else now. In the 1980s and even the early 1990s, most video game music was comprised of a series of 8-bit bleeps and bloops, but the melodies were unforgettable.
Yes, when we heard that some local musicians were recreating some of these tunes with real instruments, we just had to go and have a listen.
Hi, I'm Lachlan.
And I'm Mike.
And together we cover video game music. My dad used to be a guitar teacher, a music teacher, so did my mum. But my dad gave both me and my brother guitars when we were really young, when we were 7, and he taught us how to play. And then at high school, I really started to pick it up and play a lot more.
I got started in music when I was very young, about 6 or 7 years old. My dad was a guitar player, and he bought me a guitar when I was really young, and it's all I've really done since.
Well, there's this guy on YouTube called the Angry Video Game Nerd who's quite popular.
All these games suck.
A couple of years ago, he needed some music for his videos, and so he put a message on his forum saying, I need some music that kind of sounds like this. Anyone is interested, let me know. So I emailed him a couple of tracks, and then he really liked that and used that on one of his videos.
I'm surrounded by filth. Might as well just cover my walls in shit. I'm living in shit.
He then started getting in regular contact with me whenever he did a new video. He'd say, I need some songs like this, can you record a couple of quick grabs like this, or this kind of mood, or this kind of sound. And so Mike and I divided up the work between the two of us, and we both recorded our versions of these old Nintendo songs, which is really good fun. So that's how all that started. There's no sheet music for any of these songs. There's no chords, or nobody's written out any of their music. I pulled up the original backing track from the game called Gyromite. The first thing you gotta do is have a listen to that, try to work out what instruments are going on, what melodies there are. So there's a good example where we can just hear it's pretty, it's sort of what it's doing on the guitar. And then based on that, I need to switch over to Pro Tools and load in all the patches so I can start with all the drums and guitar. I'll start off with just the guitar. So in this case, it was sort of a guitar version of that original theme. And then start throwing in the bass, and then start working out what leads need to go over the top for the melodies. So for example, for the main melody, there's the main guitar, and then throw that over the top of everything else.
Okay, so once Lachlan's finished the sequencing and the recording, and he's happy with how the track's sounding, he'll send it over to me, and I'll EQ it, compress it, sort of make it sound in balance, and mix it down.
I knew that there were issues around having to pay royalties when you release an album, which is fine. I just figured I'd just find out who the copyright owners are, and you sign up with APRA and tell them all the songs that you've released, and then they handle paying the royalties. But one sticking point is that Nintendo have said on their website that they just don't give clearance. So if you wanted to reproduce any of their art, any of their sound, anything, they don't do it. So what I've ended up doing is actually release all the cover versions for free that anyone can just download. I'm not making a profit off any of those.
hardest tune out of this batch is definitely the Castlevania tune, for reasons being that it's not a song that was written for a stringed instrument. So trying to decode exactly what was going on in some of the multi-part harmonies was a bit of a challenge, and still continues to be a challenge to play it now.